So, Fallout 3 is almost 20 years old, and I know it just made some of you feel old, but I feel like that warrants a remaster or a remake, and it seems like that might just be happening. There are rumblings of Fallout 3 getting a remaster, but we do have evidence that it might be legitimately coming. In this video, I'm going to go over all the things that point to a Fallout 3 remaster, as well as when it might be coming. But first, let's get to the sponsor of this video. Ever find yourself trying to get some game time in and just completely dozing off? As a part-time creator with a 9-to-5, I often find myself trying to game after work and slamming my head into my desk from sleeping while playing. But how do I manage it? I just drink G Fuel, the energy formula made for gamers. Not only does it give a similar caffeine boost as a regular cup of coffee, it also has a ton of vitamins that you may be lacking in your regular diet that energy drinks just can't give you. It also comes in various different flavors from your favorite creators, games, and even anime. My favorite flavor right now is the Super Saiyan Lemonade. This is almost gone. I like to take it to work with me instead of coffee, especially on hot days. If you want to try out G Fuel for yourself, I recommend grabbing a starter pack on their website to see if you enjoy it. And if you use my link below, you'll be supporting myself and the channel. So go try out some G Fuel today using my link below. Now back to the video. So last month we were treated to the surprise release of Oblivion Remastered from Bethesda and Virtual Studio for the 20th anniversary of Oblivion's release, which was probably the worst kept secret in Bethesda's history. Now that the game is in our hands and has become extremely popular, many fans of the Fallout series are wondering if Fallout 3 could be next in line for a remaster. And to that point, there have been hints, articles, and more things that could be pointing to the Fallout 3 remaster. And to start, we can look back to 2020. So back in 2020, ZeniMax was in the midst of an acquisition by Microsoft. Through this acquisition, we will see some court documents from both companies leak, giving us insight into future plans from both Bethesda and Microsoft. The document that we're interested in particular is the roadmap of upcoming Bethesda titles for each fiscal year. We've taken a look at this document before in other videos, but if we look to the very end of the roadmap for fiscal year 2024, we can see Elder Scrolls 6 as well as a Fallout 3 remaster. This tells us that a Fallout 3 remaster is, or at least was, planned at some point. Many of the games in this roadmap have been delayed and rescheduled, so this could be the case for Fallout 3 Remastered as well. This point is further proven by Oblivion Remastered being listed for fiscal year of 2022, which was supposed to be released in the same fiscal year as the Indiana Jones game that we ended up getting in December of last year. With this information, we can likely assume that the remaster is at least in the works. But is this the only evidence we have to point to the existence of the remaster? No, we actually have more information on it that we've gotten recently from the insider who provided info for Oblivion Remastered before its shadow release. If you didn't follow the rumor mill for Oblivion Remastered, the insider known as Nate the Hate provided the public with information on the existence of the Oblivion Remaster and how and when it would be released. Nate will go on to state in March that the Oblivion Remaster will be revealed and shadow dropped sometime in April, with the gap between the reveal and release being minimal. This will prove true as we would get an announcement live stream for the remaster on April 22nd, with the game releasing on the exact same day. To his credit, Nate has also been correct with the Switch 2's reveal date, so he is a proven credible insider at this point. But what exactly does this have to do with Fallout? Well, Nate also tweeted info in regards to the Fallout 3 remaster, as on April 15th, he will respond to a user asking if the Fallout 3 remaster is still happening, to which he responded planned but won't be for a while. This tells us that the remaster does exist and is still likely to happen, but maybe further off than we would hope. While it's unfortunate that this remaster will need some time to bake, we can at least speculate about what kind of features we could see added into it. Since this will be another remaster and not a remake, we can use what we've seen in Oblivion Remaster's release to speculate on what Fallout 3 could get in a remaster. So similar to Oblivion, we can almost certainly expect improved graphics, right? This could be similar to Oblivion Remaster's graphical upgrade if Bethesda works with Virtuos again to overlay Unreal Engine on top of the Creation Engine, which I could definitely see happening, as it's already proven to be successful with Oblivion Remastered. In regards to the gameplay, Oblivion Remastered is mostly the same because of the use of the Creation Engine for the gameplay systems, but I believe we can expect this to be the same for Fallout 3 Remastered if Bethesda does go this route. But one thing I would like to see is changes to the combat, specifically the shooting in Fallout 3. If you don't know, or you just weren't there to experience it, Fallout 3 had some of the worst shooting mechanics in really any game for its time. Bethesda at the time was more focused on the RPG mechanics and implementing VATS as a viable way to use combat, so the gunplay in the game ended up suffering for it. You couldn't aim down sight, and you basically had to use VATS any chance you would get as a shooting mechanic to help you hit all your shots. And also, your shots weren't even guaranteed to hit outside of VATS, so you really had to use VATS as a crutch to help you win gunfights. Keep in mind, this is at a time where games like Call of Duty 4 would be released and other big FPS games that really drove innovation in video game combat at the time. So having something like this wasn't really the best. You can watch this video by Many a True Nerd that explains the whole spiel about the combat in Fallout 3, but the gist of it is, gunplay wasn't so good. They would improve on this greatly with Fallout 4, which is why that game gets praised so much as it does. This has been a critique of both Fallout 3 and New Vegas, as the combat was drastically improved in Fallout 4. I'm not sure how possible it is, but I would like to see the combat modernized at least a bit to make the shooting outside of VATS more viable. Even adding something like aiming down sights or sprinting will make combat way more intuitive compared to the original. Touching up or redesigning Fallout 3's shooting could give old players a brand new outlook on the game by fixing one of its most criticized parts. While gameplay fixes are up for debate, one thing that has to be included is all 4 Fallout 3 DLCs. Oblivion Remastered came with the game's original 2 DLCs, Shivering Isles and Knights of the Nine. So knowing this, we should likely expect for Fallout 3 Remastered to include Operation Anchorage, The Pit, Point Lookout, and the Mothership Zeta DLCs. Since there are 2 more DLCs than Oblivion, hopefully this won't cause a major increase in the price from the $50 Oblivion Remaster, but I could also see it increasing it to maybe $60. Having the DLCs included will give players like me the opportunity to experience them for the first time, with all the additions from the remaster to create a more modern way to experience them. And these are just some of the biggest features we could see from the remaster. But more importantly, when could we possibly see a release for it, or maybe even a trailer? So since we know that there is still a planned Fallout 3 remaster, can we predict a release window for it? For starters, we can look at the time between the proposed Oblivion Remaster release window from the 2020 roadmap. Oblivion Remaster was originally planned for fiscal year 2022 release, which we ended up getting this year. So that means there was a 3-year delay from its original predicted release window. While it's not the most definitive way of determining the release, if we do use the 3-year delay as a guideline, we would be getting a Fallout 3 remaster in 2027, which is 1 year shy of the 20th anniversary of the original game. Since Nate the Hate's tweet suggests that the game is still a ways off, I could see Bethesda waiting until 2028 to line up the release with the 20th anniversary of Fallout 3 as well. Releasing the remaster earlier than 2028 could also allow the release to coincide with the release of Season 2 of the Fallout TV show, which we could be seeing as early as 2026 or even later this year, though this may be unlikely. So that's all the information that we have on Fallout 3's potential remaster. But there's even more information about the future of the Fallout series that I haven't even touched on in this video. If you want to know what's going on behind the scenes with new Fallout games, the TV show, and more, you can click here to watch the video on what's coming next for the Fallout franchise. And with that, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.